Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today I want to take you on a little bit of a project I got going on here. It's actually a pretty extensive project. If you recall, this used to be stepping stones through here. Well, now I've got crushed rock. That's not the final product. This bricks here, these will be the final product. I think the company that I'm hiring, and I've outsourced this because I could lay all the rock and stuff down. What I can't do is spend the amount of time it's going to take to cut each stone to fit in there perfectly. So this brick here is going to probably be laid out in a herringbone style all the way through. And so I am just so excited, so ready for this whole garden back here to kind of just be tied together. You know, if you've seen this video and this channel in any way, I'm an accidental gardener. I have no experience in gardening. I have no experience in design. I have no experience in horticulture. Basically what this garden was I purchased this home. My wife and I purchased this home roughly 8 years ago, not quite, and was not disclosed that we had water issues and this backyard floods because we're kind of in a fishbowl. And what I mean by fishbowl, give me just a second to get over here and I will raise this up. You see there's a home here. You can see the roof to another home. You can see that home, that home. This is our home. That's a home, home, home. And you can see right there's another home. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 homes that are able to look down into our yard. And if they can look down into our yard, that means the water can rush off of their homes and down into this yard. Well, like I said before, that was not disclosed when we purchased this home. And when we talked to neighbors, they're like, oh yeah, they tried to bring in all kinds of truckloads of dirt and try to get this yard to a level where the water wouldn't sit back here. Our first indication was we had a rainstorm. And when we came home, the grass was, there was no grass because it was all underwater, but from the home all the way to the back of our property was pretty much underwater. I think we both almost cried. So we started asking questions and they're like, yeah, you guys have a mega water issue. So time went by, we figured out how to maneuver and work around that. We actually fell in love with the property, we fell in love with the schools, we fell in love with everything that was right about this home. So we just decided to stick it out, and here we are, you know, 7 to 8 years later. Well, because I don't have a design background or any kind of landscape knowledge at the time, I was building all these different pockets to put plants, and basically it started over here in this area, and then the water would drain under here. So these were our first areas, budget-wise and knowledge-wise, that I created this landscape. Well, and by doing so, I was raising these beds up partially to create areas where it wouldn't flood. Well, then by doing that, I was forcing water that was on this side to raise quite a bit, besides what was going into the creeks. And so we fast forward 4 or 5 years, and then I've started having all these beds along the fence line. And one day I started getting a little bit more, my budget started to raise just a little bit more. So I started looking at YouTube videos. I think one of my kids put me onto YouTube videos. And the first couple plants that I purchased I would punch it into the YouTube, and this guy pops up and, hey, I'm Jim Putnam on HortTube, and he had a little good jingle to his, a little friendly jingle to his tutorial. I would call it a tutorial. I don't know if that's what he'd call it, and I don't know the gentleman. But anyways, I started researching plants, and Jim Putnam kept jumping up. Jim Putnam had answers for everything I needed. And he's in a different zone than me. I'm in the zone 6A. I think he's in, I think it's 8 or 7. I don't know. I don't want to mess up his deal, what he's got going on. But Zones were a little different, but inevitably all the trees and shrubs that I was purchasing, when I punched it in, he was popping up. So he kind of taught me everything I needed to know about the plants and shrubs that I was putting in this yard. Well, then my bug that I got, my desire for perennials had changed. I started to find out more about flowers and annuals and perennials. So I started researching those, and lo and behold, here comes Garden Answers. And of course, everybody knows she's the Michael Jordan of YouTube videos on landscape, and she's just absolutely amazing. And so I started watching her, and I was shocked when I seen what she was doing in her new home. At the time when I plugged it in, she had already moved from her old home, but she was putting in flowers and stuff, and I thought that was only, you know, commercial sites. I thought that was only landscapes like that were for zoos and arboretums. And well, lo and behold, she started teaching me, not directly, because I don't know her, I don't know any of these folks, I don't even know if they'd want my channel to mention their name at all. So just to be clear, have no idea who these people are outside of their videos. And anyways, they started teaching me all these different things, and I'm just falling in love. And so then I had to create a bed, right? So because you want more flowers, and I'm in really clay soil, so it was tough, and I lost a lot of money in bringing in product here, and because I didn't understand why they kept, you know, dying of root rot and dying of this and dying. Anyways, they walked me through so much, and I still tune into their videos all the time, just for maybe a little bit of reassurance when I'm purchasing something, or if I have questions about what you know, this or that. Anyways, they helped me along the way, and by doing, when I was putting in these beds, because you know, she had a new plant she was planting, or 5 or 6 new plants she was putting in her yard on a video. So I'd go out and I'd look for those, and sure enough, we'd have them in our zone. So then I would plug them into this yard. Well, then I'd have to create a new bed. And that being said, I get all the way through up to last year, and I'm like watching my family walk over all these bricks and these stepping stones and different pathways. I'm like, it needs to be more cohesive, and that's how I landed today, because I was making all these mistakes. I was punching in all this stuff and plugging it into the ground and YouTube, and I didn't realize that all my designs were kind of clashing. I had gazebos, I had sheds, I had, you name it. I have a moon gate and all this stuff, because I don't have a design background, and I still don't really understand design. You know, I watch these videos and they're like, well, I don't like pinks with this color, and I don't like reds with this. That to me sometimes doesn't apply, because if I like the plant, I just plug it in. And that's kind of how I kind of got in a little bit of trouble back here I get in my own mind, my own way, because I want everything to be cohesive and straight and narrow. And so it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of thought. In my own personal view, there's a lot going on. So when I created this video 2 years ago, it was just because it was a really nice May. It's hard to screw up May, right? Everything's coming alive, and it's hard to screw it up. And I was kind of feeling myself. I didn't talk in the first 2 videos. I just put it out, and wow, the outpouring of support for this yard was a lot. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to talk in front of a video. I never heard my voice on a video or anything, so I had to get over all those humps. And there's a lot that's going on in the yard as I'm passing, and in some other videos we'll catch up on that, but I'm just trying to get this done before the landscape company comes in and you don't get to see the base level. Anyway, back to the story of random ramblings. I just found my way. I found myself trying to figure out what this garden's end game is, and what overall I want it to be. And yeah, I think this is the year. I think my wife teases me because she's like, "Oh, you always say this is the year, and you always shy away from letting people see how great it is." I'm one of those people, and so, but yeah, I think this is the year that it's finally going to all come together. The trees and the shrubs are going to complement the perennials, and the perennials are going to complement the annuals, and the hardscape's going to complement the eye. And I'm just head over heels what the possibilities are back here. And I'm hoping that you can pick up, even though if you're brand new to this channel, or even if you're turning it on, February's tough. It looks bad. You want to get out in the yard. It's not going to shine, but I hope this inspires some of you folks to get up, get out, start your own process, learn by trial and error. Some of you are doing it now, and hopefully this video might help a little bit. There's just a lot of energy I have, and a lot of energy and excitement in my blood right now about this yard and the possibilities. So, when you look back, and I've told you, not having any kind of background or anything like that, and here we are today, I'm just so excited. So it's not so much about the video, it's just I'm so excited about the overall view and look of this backyard and how it's going to turn out, and the side garden. I don't know, it's all starting to come together, and it's all because I stuck with it. I didn't give up when times were tough back here, and because if you're brand new to gardening, it can be overwhelming. It can be super tough. You can have dry summers like we did last year, or late frost, and it can kill your dauber. It can get you down when you just think you got it right. Something, a hailstorm, somebody needs to dig new cable wires in a yard, power lines fall, fencing falls. There's just a lot of obstacles, but just don't give up. Keep fighting that good fight, and this design and everything that I'm sharing with you today hopefully will kind of give you an uplift and a little bit of inspiration to get yourself ready for spring. It's just, it's knocking at the door. We just got to get up and open the door. So that being said, I've rambled on enough. That's what I do. I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully landscape shows up today, and if they're willing to let me document them laying rocks, not everybody's comfortable on video. If they're comfortable with me laying all this stone, watching them lay the stone, I will share that with you. Otherwise, I'll sneak behind them, and I'll try to do it in between jobs. So I'm so glad to be back. I'm hoping that you're glad that I'm back. And one of the things I would ask those of you who are watching this, maybe, I know it's hard to tell right now, but maybe in my previous videos, what do you kind of get the sense that this backyard design is? What style do you think it is? Because it's kind of all over the place. And like I said, I'm tearing down the gazebo. I'm gonna start buttoning things up and try to get to a certain style. I don't know how to read those, but it's something that maybe you can help me with. Anyways, happy gardening, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.